Here's your seat.
Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, Roger don't want binders.
She's supposed to be here. Hey, Jim. I'm just here in case she needs me.
I leave Friday though for Florida.
Probably won't.
To finish out my play trading. I got tired
Good
of
morning.
this weather. I'm like,
Welcome
I'm in Florida.
everyone. We'll call the court meeting to order, and we'll wait till our treasurer comes in. It's all right. It's good to see everybody today. Magistrate Bodner, would you lead us in our invocation, please?
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and thank you for each one here and their families and our community, our country, our state. Be with each one of us today and help us to make the right decisions on the issues that are brought to us, and help give us wisdom to understand each problem. These things we ask in thy Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. And if you'll stand, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. If you have a cell phone, would you please put it on silent or vibrate so we don't have those going off like we did at the first meeting with mine. I was guilty. Okay. Magistrates have had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting. And take your all's motion to approve, or...
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, Magistrate Gay, seconded by Magistrate Bodner. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries and minutes are approved. Good job, Katina. Okay, we need to approve our bills. Is there anything in the bills that Ms. Darlene?
That would be me.
Okay.
I scrambled through all of the bills the best way I could on short notice with just me. So right now we are sitting at $263,063.18 for bills.
Any discussion? Any motion for the bills?
Make a motion, we approve.
Magistrate Cullen made the motion to approve the bill. Magistrate Bodner second. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Bills are approved. All right, and then Darlene, I think you have the next one as well, budget transfer.
I do. Budget transfers. These are still a little bit more of the cleanup that I'm doing from Springbrook. I have $79,550 moving through general fund. Public Works is $28,228. Joint jail fund is $200. EMS fund is $2,300, totaling $110,278.
We approve the budget transfer.
Magistrate Gay made the motion to approve the budget transfers. Magistrate Cullen second. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Cash transfers.
Cash transfers, I need to make one change. From general fund to joint jail fund, I'm going to reduce that to $50,000. And from general fund to EMS, I'm going to leave that at $100,000, totaling $150,000.
Okay, so $150,000 for cash transfers. All right, motion to approve the cash transfers.
Make a motion.
Magistrate Cullen made the motion.
Second.
Magistrate Sleeper seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Darlene.
Thank you.
Okay, on the old business, we had continued the appointments to the Extension Council, again to this meeting. There are not going to be any appointments at this time. I have been in conversations this week with some people at the UK Extension office in Lexington, and Dr. Stevenson, who is the Dean of the UK Extension Office there, called me this morning, and she is going to be making those appointments because they should have been made by December 15th, and they were not, so she has decided that that is something that it falls back on her anyway, so she's going to be making those appointments. That will be sometime, I think, later this month. The 4 candidates that were presented to the previous administration will all be interviewed by Dr. Stevenson, and then she will make her recommendation from the interviews with those candidates. So we will pass on that. And under new business, I'm going to take Chairman's prerogative, and I'm going to put American Red Cross on hold for just a minute while we do an award. And Anthony Young, if you will come forward. We are going to present you with a certificate of appreciation, and this gives me great pleasure because I worked with Anthony's dad, Tom Young, in the Sheriff's Department for many years. I've known Anthony since he was a young man growing up and going to school. Anthony is the epitome of public service to me because he has served in multifaceted positions. Mostly he has served in the emergency services there in Parable. He has been a member of the Parable Volunteer Fire Department for 36 years. Now, maybe y'all didn't hear me on that. He has volunteered his time for 36 years. That to me says a lot about Anthony's character and his love for his community and just the things that he has done in Parable. Whenever there's an emergency in Parable, Anthony is on the scene. He is there. I have watched him be in charge of the parade routes for years. He'll be down there directing the traffic and making sure everything's flowing the way it needs to go. And then he does a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't really know about, but Anthony's there, and he's taking care of business, and he's taking care of things, and he has served his community very well in the 36 years that he has volunteered. So Anthony, it gives me great pleasure to present you the Certificate of Appreciation for your 36 years of public service in Parable.
Judge, what's really important is his activity with young people who are up and coming,
Yes.
training for the future firefighters. So
Absolutely.
Anthony, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, ready?
Sounds kind of like ours.
Yeah, it looks like you've
Might have
got
to
a
move it to
It's not an extra.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you so much. And you can stay with us, and I know you're working, so, okay, that's great. We've got standing room only, okay. So at this time, we are going to skip down to Mike Rogers, EMS, and we are going to present some other awards. And I would like to read at this time what we're doing. So, cardiac arrest happens over 360,000 times per year in the United States, according to the American Heart Association. Last year in Boyle County, it happened 70 times. In 2012, Boyle County EMS started building a system to save more lives for patients experiencing chest pain. In 2015, we started an initiative to save more patients who experience out-of-the-hospital cardiac arrest. The difference between chest pain and cardiac arrest is with chest pain, the patient has a narrowing or an occlusion to the coronary arteries in your heart. With sudden cardiac arrest, due to the reasons we don't always know, the heart stops. These patients have no heartbeat and are not breathing, and they are clinically dead. In the first quarter of 2022, these EMS providers responded to a call and the patient was unresponsive, not breathing. In this moment, the EMS responders are responsible for securing an airway for the patient to breathe, starting an IV to administer life-saving medications, and continuing uninterrupted CPR. This is a very complicated, choreographed scenario that takes lots of training and simulation to master. The best part of Boyle County EMS is by far our people. It is their commitment to the people of Boyle County to always be trained and ready to save a life. This year, we started recognizing EMS providers for outstanding patient care that resulted in a life saved by presenting them with challenge coins. And today I have 4 challenge coins that I would like to present. Yeah, or maybe if I just scoot it down. Get here now, I can fit through. Okay, so the first one I would like to present is Captain Michael Mattingly. Okay. Next is Paramedic Jana McGarvey. EMT Jeff Russell. I'm not used to the paparazzi. Dr. Eric Durant, our medical director. Thank you. And I just want to say, in these times that we've read about here, there's nobody that you want there with you other than one of these staff people. They save lives. They save lives. Maybe not on a daily basis, but they do it often. And for them to be able to take this patient who had completely stopped breathing and bring them back with a heartbeat, and that person left the hospital on their own free will, is just a wonderful testament to the kind of people that we have working for us in Boyle County. And we are truly blessed in Boyle County to have the character of people that we have, and Mike for the department that you run. So we appreciate you all, and congratulations on your award.
Amen.
And those will work in Mo's vending machine when he finally gets
And I know you all are on duty, so that's why I jumped ahead and got you all first. So, Mike, do you want to say anything?
Nah, I just can't say enough about the good people that we have, the caring, passionate that they show every day, and also say good things about Anthony Young. Every time I went to Perros, Jeff knows. Jeff been together a long time. He's always been there, but the system that we have in Boyle County is second to none, and thanks to this fiscal court for supporting us, and the people of Boyle County for trusting us with their lives.
Thank you all. Y'all have a good day. Be safe out there.
Mike, did we get our order in
Yep.
for the new wheels?
Yes.
Great.
Yep. I'll talk about that.
We'll come back to you on that.
Stuff
All
soon
right.
as thunder.
Okay, now we'll get back on schedule, and we have Lynn Washbish with the American Red Cross here today. And Lynn, I'll turn it over to you.
Sure. So we'll just continue on talking about saving lives here
Okay,
today.
sounds good.
So my name is Lynn Washbish. I'm the executive director at the Red Cross here in Lexington, but I cover Boyle County. I cover 28 counties. One of the reasons I come in front of you today is to ask for support. In the last year in Boyle County alone, there have been 14 disasters. The number one disaster that the Red Cross responds to is a home fire. People think it's the floods or the tornadoes. It's a home fire. It happens every single day. In Boyle County alone in the last year, we responded to 14 of them. We assisted in over $8,400. And we come before you today as we've been meeting with the fire marshal and others here in Boyle County to put together a program about our home fire campaign. We go into people's homes, we install smoke detectors for free, we teach them to prepare, plan, have a route, get out, and everything. And I come in front of you today to ask for $2,500 in financial assistance to help us with this program so that we can make Boyle County safer. Put more fire alarms in, smoke alarms, so people are safe and they can get out of their home.
Outstanding.
We have a, in our budget process, there's a process to, some paperwork you'll need to put in.
I think
for
I
that
have that.
consideration.
Julie, I have that.
In our appropriations process, so that's when that would take place.
I have that. And then we're also, Ian is our disaster program manager, and he is meeting with the fire marshals and
the county EM.
and the county EMs to put a plan together so that we can partner. We give them the alarms, they go out, people can do appointment based, or we can canvass and do a big, home fire campaign in a neighborhood that's had a lot of home fires or whatever the case may be.
Right, great.
So that's our job, is to try to help reduce those fires, because as I said, People don't understand, it's the number one thing we respond to on a daily basis.
Now, is the $2,500, is that part of the appropriations you want to request?
Well, I'll ask for that, and it's
Okay.
to help the program, and it's just to help financial assistance. And like I said, we spent $8,400, so it's kind of help alleviate our, what we put out to those families.
Very good.
Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna go to another court here.
Thank you
I
so
will
much.
give you all some
Appreciate
room.
you being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next we have Michaela Gerry, is that right?
Gerry.
Gary, I'm sorry, Michaela.
That's all right.
Planning and Zoning Director. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Shirley. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to meet you all yet, but I'm the new Planning and Zoning Director here. I'm not sure if you have any questions or if you just want me to give you a little brief overview of my background. Or...
Yeah, that's
That'd be
fine.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So I've been a professional planner for about 7 years now. I have a background in land use, transportation, and community improvement planning. I started in Boyle County at the end of October, so I've been here for a couple months now, but looking forward to get to know you all, and yeah. But
Michaela and Julie and I have been in conversation this week, and so do you want to talk a little bit about the comprehensive plan that's coming up, or?
Yep. So we don't know what consultant we're going with yet. We're kind of just starting to look at options, and we're working with the city, Junction City and Perros. We want to do a joint comprehensive plan, so once we get all the minutia worked out, we'll start bringing more to you, but I do feel that this comprehensive plan update is going to be really important. We're going to be looking more at a full rewrite. We haven't really done one of those, and it's been a long time. We did an update probably about 5 years ago now, and so we are due for one. So we're looking to get a lot of public input and support, and it would certainly be a big process going through you all and the rest of the legislative bodies as well. So
I know the city's kind of pushed to use the KLC for their comprehensive plan, but I think we need something a little better than what KLC puts out. So that would be my suggestion to the court, is not just go to League of Cities, but we really just kind of go with somebody that specializes in these comp plans, especially since it's going to be a big rewrite, and hopefully we'll get all of our partners to contribute into it, so that way the burden's not primarily on the city and the county. So
I think we're actually going to look at a couple of different options, aren't we? KLC, Bluegrass Ads.
Bluegrass Ads, the other one,
And then
kind of.
a third party maybe.
yeah, the third party as well. I've spoken to 2 third parties right now. I'm waiting to hear back about their proposals, so I'm not sure what the price range and scope of work is going to look like.
Yeah,
But
so we're trying
I'm
to
hoping
get
to get those
estimates.
this
Yeah,
week.
I just don't want
Yeah.
like a cut and paste kind of plan. I
Right,
really
no,
want
we don't
something.
either.
We don't
We want
either.
the full comprehensive plan.
As we
Yeah.
heard yesterday in our meeting, you
Yes.
know, over with the Development Corporation, there's a lot of moving pieces here that this is going to fit into, so we need to make sure that it's very specialized.
Yeah, and the comprehensive plan is a really important document. It can really guide development. It also helps guide those policy decisions when you're looking at our regulatory documents like the zoning ordinance and the subdivision regulations. So it's really important to have all those conversations with the community, see where the community wants to see Boyle County go in the next 20 years, and then how we can make that happen. So.
Have you had an opportunity to meet our new surveyor?
Nope, he's coming to our planning commission meeting tomorrow, so
Good.
I should be able to meet him then.
We've done with that one for 200 years, which is rather remarkable. And yet, with everything that can and will be happening over the next couple of years, I think he's going to play a very essential role, so I hope you get to know him well. I was very impressed when he was here last time.
Yep, yeah, I got to speak to him on the phone, but I'm looking forward to meeting him soon, so.
And
Yeah.
I'm guessing you've gotten pretty acquainted with our zoning ordinance.
Yes.
I'd be interested to talk to you to see if you have any ideas on improvements, things that we maybe need to adjust or whatever, but.
Yep. Yeah, there are some small changes that we might want to look at in the interim, but I would say any major changes, if there's anything, you know, that the court or the city feels that we need to be looking at policy-wise, I would encourage us to wait until the comprehensive plan process is over. I think that will help guide us through that process, and then
Good.
look at any of the bigger changes. But there's small changes that we want to do to help streamline the process or clean up a few things. I've had some ideas, and I'd be happy to approach those quickly, but I think any bigger topics we should wait on.
No, I figured you're coming in as the new director, and you know, new set of eyes on things, and
Yeah.
things are done a little differently from your perspective. We'd be interested to hear.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. But All right, any more questions for me? Or?
We'll talk
Thank you.
solar later.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
And be prepared, I got correspondence over the weekend, we'll be talking wind along with solar.
all right.
So that's gonna be very interesting.
Lots of fun topics. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
A lot of wind coming from Tom's area.
It's that, Jason always points out, it's that small blue area over
Yeah.
Not the wind I'm
Okay.
referring to.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
Michaela.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'm gonna have a technical.
Little room where you just sort of things on cyber in here.
Oh,
Okay. Is Dr. Ross in the room? Anybody seen Dr. Ross?
nope.
Heard anything from Dr. Ross? Okay. All right. Anybody out in the hall? Magistrate? Just to make sure he's not sitting out there.
Nope.
All clear? Okay,
Clear.
well, we'll have to figure out what happened there. Okay, next we have our Great American Brass Band Festival Executive Director, Michael Perros.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, welcome.
So I'm the new kid on the block for the Brass Band Festival, and I'm really excited to be in the role and excited to be in front of everybody today. You could finally, most of you have probably at least seen my face or heard my name, or if you at least know the name Perros, well, you know, don't hold that
Is there
against
some
me.
guy in town?
If you know,
There's
you know.
some guy, you know, but the best thing he's done is me. So I'm sweeter
to that.
and nicer, better looking.
Amen to that.
Yeah, you're right. I figured I'd have your support at least on that.
Right.
So I'm in the room today to speak to you and propose to you a concert series that the Brass Band Festival, in cooperation with the Chamber and CVB, we have all designed and put together to benefit our community. So this concert series would take place in the warm months of the year, so April through October. Cross our fingers on Kentucky weather being cooperative and all that good stuff. But this concert series would be once a month, the first Thursday of every month, and it would take place in 2 locations, but it would create a nice circuit around downtown. So we'd have our first attraction, which Jeff Jewell's going to be kind of taking over, but we're going to have acts at Constitution Square first, starting the first, like right around 5:30 or so. You know, it might be 6. Times are movable, but that will be our first act. And then when that's over, if you go down to Weiser Park, then you'll have the main band, the big band. So we have this nice loop so that people, when they come out, they come to downtown, they go to Main Street, they go, oh, you know, my kid's in the children's theater that's doing the Constitution Square, or, oh, I'd like to see that acoustic duo that's going at the square. Oh, you know, I take my drink, go grab some food, whatever, walk around downtown, and then I can see the band from 7 to 9 at Weiser Park. So really nice loop there, especially if you get out early and you know, depending on what Jeff coordinates for the square, it could be children's theater, it could be acoustic duo, it could be small band, it could be storytelling, it could be an artist, you know, doing their thing, and anything around that nature. And then what I'd be coordinating would be the Weiser Park side of things. So getting a band in there, getting people moving and grooving. You know, the biggest point of this is to do 2 things. Is to celebrate downtown, get people downtown, get people in the restaurants, get people to go to Gypsy Run and have a beer, or wherever, boogie nights, wherever, and then to celebrate live music, because there's so much in this town that happens live music. I mean, we've got several, not really event spaces, but there's definitely like the Still and the Nook, and Morley's is going to do some events, so there's plenty going on the weekend. But as far as live music on a Thursday night in downtown, doesn't really exist. So if we do this, we'll be in good shape to get people down there one Thursday a month. So that is what we have as far as plans, and we won't have food vendors or anything. It is solely going to be what Main Street can provide for people and that they can enjoy. So if you look, you should have been sent a budget that we can discuss. And just for a little background, I have met with the city on this, and Judge Bottoms has been in some smaller meetings that we've had, probably 8 to 10 of us that have been discussing this, trying to plan this, trying to best attack this. So the city is really excited about it. but I'm here today to propose this to you so that we can get some balance between city and county and see what's
Right.
available.
Michael, is this the total budget or is this just the county side of the budget?
So this would be the total budget, and if you look, this would be, again, from April through October, but the one event that wouldn't cover this is the June, and brass band's got their hand on that. You know, we've already had that date locked in forever, so the brass band budget can cover that, the Thursday in June, but the rest of it, April, to be specific, April, May, July, August, September, October, so 6 of them out of 7. But this would be the total, and if you look in what's highlighted in yellow, those are the upfront costs that we would need to get this thing off the ground. So kind of the big items like insurance and advertising, t-shirts, posters, the stuff that we need to put it out, to get the word out, to get advertising, to make it known to people that this is happening. Those are the costs that are highlighted in yellow. So total budget is up top in that chart. And then, so, you know, budget for April and May with the upfront costs is in the chart below. And just to point out, it's not noted on this document, but between the time that the brass band is putting in and the chamber and CVV, I mean, we've been attacking this thing for a 3 months now, and there's a lot of in-kind work being done on our end, and we don't expect anything out of this except for to promote downtown and to promote live music and
You
and all
and
the
the
goods
Chamber and CVB have an extraordinary opportunity that Magistrate Cullen and I have been trying to work on for almost 4 years, and that is go to Center, and if you need me to go with you, because I'm the one who opened it up to the CFO of Center, but go and meet with Brian Huxley, the CFO of Center, because not only can we benefit by information going out for brass band, but all those graduates, thousands of graduates, many of them very young, could be entrepreneurs coming back here or investing back in Boyle County. So please, the 3 of you, and I'll go if you need me.
Tom,
but
she'll do you one better. Brian's on the Great American
Yeah.
Brass Band board.
Yeah, but
So
he is ready and willing. We can't do the communication using their email addresses, but he is willing to talk to you about promoting through the Center graduates, everything
That'd
he'll
be
do
amazing.
all year long.
That'd be great. That would be wonderful. Anything we can do to help get the word out, and posters and, you know, little cards on people's, you know.
Just think,
cash
if
registers.
0.1% of the graduates came back here one time a year, what that would do for restaurants and hotels
It'd be
and all the
wonderful.
shops downtown and all across the county.
It'd be wonderful. It
Well,
really would be.
So this is not third Thursday. This is going to be first Thursday.
First Thursday.
So we're tackling more than just once a month. Are we still going to do third Thursdays? Do we know, or?
Yes,
Yes.
the chamber is supporting Kate in her efforts to do the third Thursday, but she wants to just keep that as a shopping type event,
Okay.
not an entertainment type event.
So 2 separate events, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this will be the concert series.
Mhm.
No, that's fine. I mean, I always want to see as many people out, and I do like the aspect of supporting local businesses instead of the vendors. Any interaction with the farmers market though on this? I know in June normally you guys do like a night market because of the parade. You can't do that Saturday. So are you guys going to do anything in conjunction with this? Or?
We're actually offering to have some of our vendors that are available on first Thursday come and possibly set up outside of business, same with third Thursday as well. Unfortunately, a lot of our farmers have day jobs and Thursdays are hard, but
And night
we do have
jobs.
some, yes, exactly, but we do have some that want to participate.
Yeah, no, I understand. You know, I don't like a bunch of food trucks showing up, especially when we've got businesses downtown that could really use the money. But
Truly.
if you have some other vendors that you know can do stuff, that would be wonderful too. So
As it grows, you know, we'll put this out there, and our one of our real strategies is to make it easy for people to understand, i.e. they know what time it starts, they know if I go here there's something on, they know if I go here there's something going on, they know I can grab a beer and go listen to the band, or I can go to the Con Square and enjoy myself on either end of downtown. So we make it clear that people know what time things are going on, what's going on, that it's the first Thursday of every month, and that they're gonna have a great time when they come out.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do cost-wise to get that right, especially this first run of it, you know, we fully intend to have every single concert, April through October, every single one.
The only vendor I would say is the kettle corn guy, because you can't have anything in Kentucky without kettle corn.
It's so
So
true.
that would be the only, like,
I'll second that.
yeah, that'd be the only vendor I'd allow.
I didn't have a vote, but I'll third that.
Well, I think it's awesome, and I applaud you and the Chamber and the CVB for coming up with this, because what better way to draw people into your downtown is a music series
Truly.
concert.
Yeah.
I mean, people
Yeah.
love music.
I'm excited.
And with it being a variety of music, you know, not just one type, but if you get in some bluegrass and you get in some blues or some, you know, just whatever, people are gonna come to listen to music. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
applaud you all for coming up with this and doing that. What amount are you asking for the fiscal court to support?
It's here. Our total budget is $22,720.
Okay.
So the plan of attack from city to now is to, you know, propose it. I proposed it to the city. I proposed it to you. Now let's see. I think the city is fully willing to cooperate on if whatever deal that the city and the county would like to work out. That is to be determined. But that is the total budget, so we can meet with Earl Coffee and
Because you need
Talk
this
those-
money, like,
Well,
soon.
soon.
You
Yes.
need
the highlighted,
You
yeah.
need the highlighted. So you're
The
looking for
highlighted.
$3,200 at this moment, right? Is that what I see there?
For
20,
April and May, which
28.
goes with
28.
I had 32. Sorry.
1,400 and
It's 20.
1,000 and
The
400.
highlighted.
Okay.
28.
so
Yeah.
the
Math. That's why I'm. I don't-
bottom graph goes right along with the
I tried giving you extra money.
city's. Hey, I'm all for it. But the bottom graph goes with the city's fiscal year, so I presented that to them, and to, you know, put that out there. That total is to get April and May, so $9,450 to get April, May plus the projected upfront cost that would continue through October.
Where's our treasurer on this?
Yeah, that's the next question.
Yeah, because that's my concern. I mean, I'm all for this too, and I think we need to support this. It is that weird budget timing thing.
Exactly.
We get into all that boring budget stuff, and that gets in the way.
Do we have a budget
But
line item?
I think coming up with the upfront cost, hopefully we can work that out. And then I want to put in my plug for a parking garage rooftop concert.
Oh,
Thank you, yeah.
man.
So I do want to put in a plug
All
for
right.
that. So let's see if we can work that out somewhere
get
in
to
the
work.
process
Yeah.
as well.
If I may, it's not part of our series, but the Chamber of the Farmers Market are working on doing a rooftop garage farm to table dinner in the early fall.
That's
Inviting
fun.
farmers market people to come and cook. Gerry Band is already online. And we want to do it on top of the garage at sunset.
Yeah.
We have-
We've got one
All
thing.
right, good.
Yeah,
I
that's one.
hate to say you and I are on the same page, but I was actually getting ready to bring up because
Yeah.
but your predecessor, Kendall, and I had discussed some sort of rooftop concerts on there. It actually was going to be nice because there was going to be something we were going to try and do at Penn Store and then also at the rooftop of the parking garage. So, yeah,
We're also trying to get people to know that there is a parking garage there and that it's available, and that, I think I mentioned this last meeting, that it's 2 hours of free, you know, daily parking now, and evenings and weekends are always free. So we're trying to let people know it's not a scary place, and you can park your car there and shop downtown.
Yeah,
except when
and
we're
it's
having
available and
concerts.
accessible. Yeah, definitely things to be thought about.
Yeah. Anyway,
Are you approaching any other entities for donations, or right now you're just looking at city and county?
Just looking at city and county right now,
Okay.
because, you know, like we said, we're trying to get this thing rolling in the best way that we can up front, get this first April through October, like, really spot on, so that there's no questioning from the people of, is this really worth going to, or is it gonna happen, or any of that stuff, so.
Okay. So if the court wants to approve an amount, we've been whispering over here, we can take it out of our general fund reserve,
Make that motion.
okay?
And what is that amount?
Well, the half of it is $47.25. I don't know if y'all want to round that up to an even number, 4,800 as an upfront get-going cost for you all, and then we can, if we need
Put it in
to,
the budget
work it into our
process.
budget, for
that's
maybe
it.
the remainder.
For
Extremely worthwhile.
for keeping things
Yes,
clean,
yes,
I
thank
think
you.
we do the 47.25
Okay.
instead of rounding up, just so
Okay.
that way we're like, okay, this is what this money went for.
Okay,
So if we're
all right.
splitting it, where's the city at with this? Are they in on
They're very interested. They haven't thrown us any numbers yet. I've thrown them numbers, but they wanted to see where the fiscal court would be, and then after I came here and met today, then we have a small meeting and figure it out.
Would you tell them this, the county came up first?
County first.
Dibs.
And I'm sure that they're gonna join right in.
They'll be
That's
very-
what we're doing.
They're very excited. No, they're
Put you
really.
first on the banner.
Well,
Yeah.
and we get a 10% discount on the second part.
Okay, so Magistrate Ellis, would you like to make that part of the
Second
motion?
motion, yes.
Okay, 4725.
Correct.
All right, and Magistrate Cullen seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, there you go.
Crosses
You've
my mind,
got an initial cost.
Since we are more than on the Bourbon Trail, we are almost the Bourbon Trail. When you contact, this is something that happened years ago in Louisville. When you contact these center folks, or whatever you communicate with them, give them an incentive package, and in that package, see if you can get the distilleries to give a little piece in that bag that they pick up when they get here. When they see that in print, and they're thinking about where they're gonna go that time of year, they might just have that inducement and enticement to have a commemorative bottle or something
Oh,
they
nice.
can go home with.
Good
And I'm
thought.
sure you could get a lead sponsor on this too. I'm sure Francesco over at Luca would probably want to do something with this, so. Most have his contact information with
And
him.
others, yeah, and others. I mean, we have.
Wilderness as well.
Jeff, do you have something?
Yeah, I just want to tack this on to
Okay,
into
all
this if I
right.
can. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to call you Mikaela, and it's like.
It's okay. I get called all things.
The mayor
and I-
has me doing that.
Yeah, I know.
So I just wanted to tack on to the end of our presentation that this evolved really recently, and I wanted to invite all of you personally. Intercounty Energy and the Chamber will be hosting a coffee meet and greet on Friday, February 3rd from 9 to 10 at Intercounty with our brand new state senator, Amanda Mays Bledsoe. And I've met with her a couple times. She's, we have her through redistricting, and she's really interested in getting to know the community, so I'd love it if everyone could show up and talk with her, and Daniel Elliott's going to be coming as well.
Okay, that's Friday, February
Friday the
3rd,
3rd.
9 to 10.
9 to 10.
Okay.
And for those that don't know, she's former Lexington City Council person, and so she understands local level issues.
Awesome. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, Kendall, you have anything to add?
Nope. I did talk to our agency of record we deal with on advertising and marketing, and one of the things we talked about was music in general. I don't know if you pay attention to how much live music there is every week, but there's between 6 and up to 12 different places you can go every Thursday through Sunday, and then add in brass band, what Morley's is planning to do, and the concert series.
Yeah.
So we're really going to be focusing on that in our advertising this spring, summer, and fall is the music presence we have here.
I follow your Facebook series, and every time I look at it and I see all the places, it's like what's going on in Boyle County or Danville over the weekend, and all the different places you can go and listen to music. I mean, it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And
So,
Tom,
thank you.
on Morley's, it keeps mentioning, that is one of those young center alums that's come back to town as an entrepreneur, Josh Will.
They're out there right to help us as entrepreneurs.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you all
Oh,
coming and
thank you.
presenting.
Thanks for having us.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Clear up some seats.
Bill, thanks for being here.
We'll see power play in the series.
Yeah. Okay, next on our agenda is to elect a Judge Pro Tem. And from what I've understood in the past, it was always, I guess primarily, the person that had the most seniority. So we don't really have that right now because 3 of our magistrates have been here the same equal amount of time and 3 are new. So I came up with a couple of different options for you guys and gals. One is that you can go by who had the greatest vote total in the general election that way, or you can nominate from amongst yourselves who you would like to be Judge Pro Tem in my absence, and we can have a motion and a second and vote on it from there. So whichever
What
way.
about who won by the greatest percentage?
I didn't figure that out, Jamie. If you want to figure that out, I'll be glad to
Mine's
entertain
easy
that.
to figure.
I just went and got the results.
No,
So it's up to you all how you want to decide to elect the Judge Pro Tem. Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
I say the one with the least gray, but that's just me. No.
thinking of a number between 1 and 20.
13.
No, I'll go ahead and make it somewhat easy, and I'll take my name out of consideration.
Okay, all
I
right.
think it should be somebody that has experience, so I don't know how you all feel about that, but I think it would be obviously between Mr. Cullen and Mr.
Well,
Ellis. So.
right, that would be the three seniority magistrates, so. Do one of you all want to volunteer? Do you one of you all want to nominate somebody else? If we go by who had the largest number of votes, that would be Magistrate Ellis. So, it's just up to you guys. How you want to proceed.
However you want to go is fine with me.
I say one of you guys say, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Okay, all right. So let's do that in the form of a motion to, so that we can approve the Judge Pro Tem. So would somebody like to make the motion for Magistrate Ellis?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Magistrate Sleeper, second.
Second.
Magistrate Harmon. All those in favor? Well, I guess I better ask, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? All right, congratulations, Magistrate
Thank
Ellis.
you, Judge.
You are Judge Pro
Thank you,
Tem.
Judge.
That wasn't too bad.
I think it should be the oldest.
You got
I didn't want to say it.
I didn't think about that until at my age, I guess, I don't know.
it. Once upon a time, I was always the youngest in the room, and that has gone by the wayside.
That was 50 years ago.
Okay, our
Then
next
cars
item of
came into the
business
picture.
is a new position, Assistant Road Supervisor. So, in light of us having a county surveyor now, who is also an engineer, we also have engineers that we can call upon with the city. Just kind of feel like that maybe we would not go in the direction of hiring a new road engineer, that maybe we could make our road supervisor position a permanent position, and you all have been given a job description to create a new position for assistant road supervisor to serve under Mr. Johnson, and for you all to take a look at, and if so, approve it. If it's approved, then we will look at applicants for that position, and salary will be discussed based on experience.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion to approve, Magistrate Cullen, second by Magistrate Ellis. Any discussion?
Judge is Chair of Public Works and working in the past wonderfully with Wayne over the years, and now having met a couple of times with Roger and talked about his philosophy and how he's going to be applying his skills. I think that it's a great idea that I guess we could probably have a separate motion with respect to an engineer or not. But I think that Roger will do a great job if he has this assistant. And in the long run, with that second motion that we might make, I think it's a savings to the taxpayer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. All right, so do we want to consider a motion about the engineer position?
Yeah, well, we first
Oh, I'm sorry,
first,
I'm sorry.
you know,
Okay.
we act on this one, yes.
Okay, yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Make
Thank
a
you.
motion that we move ahead without the services of a licensed engineer. In lieu thereof, we would work with the city of Danville anytime that we needed a contract for substantial savings in taxpayer dollars.
Do we?
Or our county.
I'll second that.
Surveyor, or our county surveyor?
And/or,
And/or,
yeah, our county surveyor.
Did you get all that?
I'll amend that, yes.
Okay, magistrate made by, motion made by Magistrate Ellis, second by Magistrate Gay. Any discussion?
Yes. Do we have anything in concrete that they'd be willing to do this for us? Because
We have a verbal.
I met with her.
Yeah,
and,
can we not do anything on a verbal? Can we
Yeah,
get something set in
okay.
stone before
Sure.
we actually
Yeah.
commit to something like this?
Sure.
Because in good faith that we want to continue to work with the city on things, this can go south either way. So let's, I think before we do any motions or votes on something, let's get it concrete first.
Okay.
I think Magistrate Cullen makes a good idea there for us, and on that basis, I'll withdraw until a
Okay.
future meeting.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cullen.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, Sheriff's Office. Is Janice out there in the hall? Thank you, Brian.
She's too busy counting money.
Next,
Good
Janice
morning.
Spears with the
Hello.
Sheriff's Office.
Everybody. Podium makes me feel like I'm really important.
It's got to be under the mic.
I think.
Oh, well, I'm pretty loud. Anyway, so I'm here to get approval on a letter for our tax settlement to close out prior sheriff. And just need, I guess, present this in front of fiscal court to get the judge's signature.
I'll make a
On the
motion to
settlement.
approve.
Motion made by Magistrate Cullen to approve the sheriff's settlement, seconded by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Zero.
Motion carries. I would just like to say thank you, Janice, for the work that you do in the sheriff's department. I've worked with you for several years, and you do a fantastic job, very thorough, and making sure that the county money is used appropriately, and getting the money to all the districts in a timely manner. So thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
very much. So can I get that copy from you later? So I can get that to the state revenue so we can get our quietus to collect more
Yeah,
taxes.
gotta have the quietus.
Hooray. Thank you all.
But thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. All right, next, I guess falls back on me. So you have the fourth quarter county clerk's report. And there will be another one coming after this. This is just to close out December. And then January and February will be presented at a later date when we turn over the excess fees from the county clerk's 2022 account. So this
Make a
is
motion
just,
we approve.
okay. You can just acknowledge it. You don't have to approve.
Make a motion we acknowledge.
Thank you. Okay, that has been acknowledged. Okay, next up, Building Inspector Rusty Cox. Come give us some good news, Rusty.
Good news. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope everybody got to read the little report I put in there. I tried to keep it short and sweet and hit upon just some of the interesting things going on. To me, the interesting things are the explosion of tiny houses and solar panel installations. Those have just started going up. Last year was easily the busiest year that I've had since I started in 2005. We did a total of 217 permits, and of that, 93 of those were single-family houses. That's pretty healthy, and that's in the face of the fact that interest rates went up. Building materials went sky high, and still everybody just kept plowing through. And right now we're, of course, we're just a little bit into January. Things are still looking pretty good. We'll see how it goes for this year. But what I do is I'm part public safety by ensuring that things are built safely. But I think my job also shows, economic indications of what's going on around here, and things right now still a little healthy. I think we're very robust. As much as you've got that going on, you've still got people. The fact that the tiny houses are getting popular, I don't know if it's having to do with people just trying to save a lot of money or doesn't have the money, or just are they going in a certain recyclable or more organic way of doing things,
Are you seeing
reduce your footprint.
Are you seeing these tiny houses pop up in a certain area, or are they just kind of all over the county?
All over.
What square footage are you talking in a range?
Well, from the code, of course, a 700 square foot house to me would be tiny, but according to the building code, 400 square feet or less. And 400 square feet is 20 by 20. And we've got them coming in less than that. the biggest problem I have there is, they're not building them from scratch, you know, from the ground up. They're bringing in the things you find at Lowe's or on the side of the road. I have to make sure that they convert those the right way and make them what we call habitable.
Are you talking like a storage building type
Yes,
thing?
yes,
Okay.
and I've got a few of those. I've got a few going up right now. So, yeah, that kind of keeps me a little busy, just making sure they're doing things. You can't just go buy one, pop it up somewhere and say, hey, I'm going to use this as a house.
Right.
Have they come in where there's both sewer and septic systems coming in?
Right, mostly septic, but yeah, as long as they get the right plumbing, sanitation, insulation for one thing, my God. So that keeps me on my toes a little bit there. And then we've had quite a bit of increase in mobile homes coming in. So you've got it on both sides. You've got big houses, you got your mobile homes, your tiny houses. And this is the first year, I don't think I've ever had a solar installation permit until this year, and I think we did 9. So I think that's something to do with tax.
Yeah, their tax credit running out.
Yeah, which is running out probably, I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens with that. And I tried to give everybody this little handy dandy totals list. So if you've got any questions at all, be glad to take them. If not,
Rusty, have you had any
to the
research to
next year.
geothermal underground systems as opposed? Because I know my next door neighbor has that, and it's extraordinarily cost effective.
Sure, absolutely. No,
I guess on the front end it's very
we haven't gotten there yet, but at all. I mean, I don't know of any, but hopefully that'll come. Be one of the new things, just like the solar installation.
Well, thank you, Rusty. We
All
appreciate
right,
you coming
no
in,
problem.
giving us a report. And giving
Glad
us
to see
updated.
you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for the job you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, now we will finish up, well, what we started with Director Rogers. If you will come and
Thanks, Judge, and thanks to Fiscal Court for allowing us to present those challenge coins. I know it takes up a few minutes to court meeting, but it's super important to be able to
very beneficial.
so let them know that they've done a good job and that we appreciate them. The first thing on the agenda item today is approve the bid for the chase vehicle, the SUV. I sent this out to lots of people, to Don Franklin, to Bachman Auto, to Auto Connection in Junction City, to as many places as I could think to send it. And we only got one bid back from Bob Allen. And so we're thankful for that. It's obviously a supply chain issue. We were worked pretty hard to get the word out about this, and again, the only bid we got was from Bob Allen. So things to consider is the first one they sent, and I copied it and put it on the table this morning for you since we just opened it yesterday. Is a pre-owned 2021 Dodge Durango, listed for it has 18,000 miles on it for $44,000. Or they were lucky to have a new Jeep Grand Cherokee that's brand new, that for a 2023 model for $45,735. So.
Make a motion we approve the Grand Cherokee.
Second.
Okay, may I ask if you have a preference on which one you want?
Yeah, then probably I looked at the size. I went and I had also had Tommy, our mechanic, drive them, and we think that the Jeep Grand Cherokee will
Okay,
be fine.
I just wanted to, after our discussion
Yeah, because
yesterday, I just wanted to
I
make
did
sure.
it, but
Okay.
I went after that and looked at the sizing of it. I think it's, again, we need to make sure was able to put a patient in the back of it. And it's not to transport the patient, but from the house to the road or from a farm field to the road, that's what we want to use.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Magistrate Cullen to approve the Jeep Cherokee, and a second by Magistrate Harmon. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mike, was there an offer on number one, the Durango, of a significant extended warranty?
We didn't talk about it, but we just figured new is probably better than what you
And,
used. So.
and having had experience running out, even on an extended warranty, a catastrophe on a vehicle, have you ever considered extending, I don't know whether it's 36,000, 3 years or just what, but I used to climb underneath the hood and do everything. I won't even lift the hood anymore. I think you really ought to look, especially with the usage that you get, that perhaps 100,000 in 5 years or something like that to extend that warranty. And I know that would be a significant cost.
Yeah, we can consider that. I can let Tommy kind of look at that. Since he's, obviously being a mechanic would be a good source for that.
I don't want to hold up the purchase, and yet we don't have that number right now.
Well, I think it's kind of, since we have our own mechanic that does all the pre-work on it, and if there's a problem with it, he'll fix it. Instead of having to go to a mechanic to fix it, we have him on staff to fix it. Plus, we do have, what did you say, we have a fleet person that...
Yeah, it's in the bid there that they're gonna dedicated.
There'll be a dedicated
service
person.
bay and maintenance and a service technician for downtime, for minimal downtime.
You don't have the issue of it sitting running the way your diesel ambulances are, and yet one engine or one transmission would pay multiple times that extended to 100,000 5-year warranty. So I'd like to amend the motion to include up to $1,000 for an extended warranty to at least 100,000 miles.
I
don't think they're that cheap.
No, they're not. They're several $1,000s, and that's the cost of a transmission. And really, I don't want to hold up him purchasing this because cars are going like that. So
Yeah, it'll be gone.
I think we can come back.
It even stated in there that if we
right.
didn't get it, that it's,
I understand.
I think I can get the information, we can look at the cost savings and with the price and the numbers with Tommy, and then I can bring it back to you and present it.
I'd be more interested in talking with Tommy about it further, and you can always add on an extended warranty after purchase.
We see the ads every day.
Yeah, so, but
they'll call you.
Tommy will give us a good idea on whether it's actually really worth having it or not, because remember, everything that we do through him, we get at a wholesale price instead of paying retail, so everything's a little cheaper.
With fingers crossed, I'll withdraw my amendment.
all right. Any other discussion before we vote? Okay. All those in favor of the motion to approve purchasing the Jeep Cherokee, and do we need to pay for that on, how do you?
On delivery.
On delivery, so can that be included as part of your motion? Okay.
Payment on delivery.
Payment on delivery, okay. All those in favor of that motion, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Big thanks to Bob Allen. I kept saying that because it's, there's a lot of people that just, there's several that said if you're not buying 10, we won't even help you.
Yeah.
The second thing on the agenda item is the permission to apply for the Kentucky Board of EMS block grant. It's a $10,000 grant we're eligible for every year. Ever since I've been the director, we've received it every year. I always use that purchase and apply it towards the purchase of an ambulance. So it'll be, ask permission to apply for the block grant for the purchase of an ambulance.
I make a motion.
Okay. Motion made by Magistrate Bodner, seconded by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion?
The deadline's coming up real quick, isn't it?
The 31st, yep.
And you can get this done and
Yep.
get it in
If you
before the
don't
deadline.
mind to go ahead, Judge, once it's approved, will you go ahead and sign it, and that way I can do it today.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. I'm signing. Would you like to tell the court about the 2 new ambulances that are supposed to be here in the fall?
Yep. So we went and picked up the new ambulance yesterday. We met the Penn Care company up in the Cincinnati area, and so we have the new ambulance at the station. It's insured. We're going to get it transferred as soon as we get the title in the mail, and then we'll start today outfitting that with the power load system and getting it in service. We did order 2 ambulances that were supposed to be here in November. He told me yesterday that they probably won't be here till 2025. So
2025.
It's crazy.
We're waiting for more demos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's good that we didn't cancel the one that we were talking about canceling. He thinks it should still come in January. So that's the medics unit on the Dodge chassis. He thinks it'll be here in January. So if it comes the first part of 2024, I think if we look at the last part of that year and see if we can buy a demo, or we can just look at the usage to see how the ambulances are holding up, I think we would be fine to hold off till 2025 for the two. So I think we're good on that. And it's just because we've paid special attention on making sure, we're getting these ambulances in. So right now, the turnaround on the ambulance is 4 years, so.
Yeah.
Is how many?
4
years.
4.
Yeah.
And this is extremely important. We skipped a buying cycle, and we're paying for it now. So we got to make sure that no matter
We gotta stay on
what
top
we're
of
thinking,
this.
we got to stay on top of it, especially given the understanding that we have of their run volume will continue to increase, especially in problematic times. So we got to make sure we stay on these, and then probably we'll have to be a little proactive on it. So, by the sound of it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. I
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
you so much.
Yep.
So you had to go to
For
Cincinnati
dropping
to
in.
pick that up. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, next up is our EMA Director, Brian Cowell. This is a report on the
Good
tornadic
morning.
activity.
I'll be really quick.
Tornado.
We met with John Gordon actually the day the tornado happened. Like you guys knew, Sam and I were actually in class when it hit. We got out to Waterworks Road area there by Tibbs Lane. And I will brag on our public works too. By the time we got out there, they were already cutting trees up in the road on Tibbs Lane.
Appreciate it.
KU had a real good response. I mean, they were there quickly. Where the tornado, once again, we kind of got lucky as a county. I know 2021 was bad with the hangars and the two houses. This one out here could have been way worse than what it was with the path that it hit. They did get a garage, but there was several houses that were close enough to be in the path. Other than that, we've actually, since that, we've actually revisited our siren situation a little closer. We've got, in fact, this week we've been working on the siren out by Downbeat. Been in contact with a couple of safety managers at Denyo and Megat, because as of now, they don't have anything out there, and there's, at any given time, there's, 3,500 people working within earshot of that siren out there. So I think we've got it back online.
Okay.
We had to send, basically, that particular siren had a battery charger in it that we think was malfunction. We sent it off yesterday, but we should be good for 5 3-minute cycles. So we'll know. Chief, I know you dealt with the sirens. They're a little tricky.
What about Airport Road?
Airport Road, Brian Jones is looking at that.
Okay.
To see what the issue was.
Okay.
If it's like the one by Donald, Sam and I we took the charger system out of it. But beyond that, we're probably not gonna try to do any diagnostics on stuff that we don't need to be sticking our hands in.
Right.
So.
How about the one here downtown though? What's that?
The one that was on Central Fire Station has been moved down by Jenny Rogers. So,
Okay.
but we're actively now actually looking for a good replacement for something right here downtown.
Okay.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, it's not a good area not to have.
Rick, I don't know if you were aware of it, but during the last one, there was kind of a gap in sirens. Jenny Rogers, and then the next closest one is down at the high school at Boyle County High. So people in probably the most populated area of the city didn't hear a siren go off. So that was the issue with it being moved down to Jenny Rogers and nothing replaced. So I think
Covered it at our house
thinking
this time. So.
we talked maybe parking garage might be a good option or
Yeah, I mean, anywhere here, you know, downtown, I mean, and we do have smaller options, you know, like 400-watt sirens that aren't gonna have, you know, that mile and an eighth range that, you know, that we see out in the county. You know, it's more along the lines of 6-7 tenths of a mile, you know, earshot, so that might be a good option for this area, you know, because, I mean, we have this, you know, when the tornado came, people were at the courthouse said, we could hear a siren, but it was faint. Well, they were hearing the siren at South 4th Street, double dispatch center.
Yeah.
So, you know, and with the wind, I mean, you know, of course, we get most of those winds are coming out of the southwest, so that really affects what you're going to hear with those sirens too. If you're on the western side of it.
Yeah, they're important, and it does seem like, you know, it seems like we used to have more of a tornado season, but it's like all seasons are tornado seasons.
Yeah, December, January.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy how much that's changed. Right. Where it used to be you know, we used to count on spring being tornado season, but now it's all throughout the year.
There's a couple other things while you're up here that I wanna, first of all, thank you for coming out on the day of the tornado. I know you were in training at North Point, and because he left and came out to do his job, he has to retake those hours and go back and finish his training. So, but thank you for doing
Like
that.
I said,
Appreciate you coming out.
We'd do anything to get out of
But hate that you have to make them up. Second thing is, and this is something I would like for the court to consider, the coroner has approached me about a vehicle, wanting a vehicle. Brian's current vehicle is set up for a coroner because it was Mike Wilder's, and he was also the coroner, so it has the correct lights and equipment in it that is for a coroner to use. If the court would consider maybe a motion to approve Brian getting some quotes or some bids on a new vehicle for him, and then passing his vehicle down to the coroner, it would already be, there wouldn't be any change of lights or anything for that for the coroner, so it'd be ready to go for him.
Is this something they can go through the budget process, or is this something that, I think we ought to wait for the budget process if we can.
Okay.
Unless there's some critical reason.
Okay,
right
all right,
now.
that's fine, but I just want you all to consider, you know, that making this swap with the coroner, and then we will put it in the budget to see about getting you a new four-wheel drive vehicle, because the places you go, you need a four-wheel drive.
And you may want to talk with the sheriff's department to see if there's any vehicles that they're going to talk about
changing over.
Yeah. So maybe we save some money on that area by just
That's
buying it
fine.
off of them instead of buying the retail on a newer used.
And I think it goes
He
without
just needs an
saying,
upgrade.
it goes without saying that coroner is reimbursed at the federal level on
Yes.
mileage anyway, so I
Yes.
think it could hold over until our budget process.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
I
that's
thought
all
I
I
was going
had.
to try to sell you an extended warranty, I'm sorry.
Get those calls all day.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, we can
I
get,
thought he was in the health insurance
we'll put
business.
you in
That's
one of
next.
that little Kubotas. Drive around on that.
Well, some places quite neat.
Okay, we have some appointments to the Human Rights Commission, and I have two. One is here, Ruby Klein Eaton is with us today. Ruby, if you'll stand. The other one is Stacy Kuntz, and unfortunately she is on a vacation somewhere where it is nice and tropical and could not be here today. So, but Ruby, we want to appoint you to the Human Rights Commission. It's a 3-year term, and it expires on 12/31 of 2026.
I'll make that motion.
All right, motion by, was it Magistrate Gay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. You are now a member
Proud to have
of the Human
Ruby
Rights
in
Commission.
in my district.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Ruby is active in the community. She's a runner's mom, so she is out and about with her constituents, and she has a pulse on what's going on in the community. So you'll be just
Good,
fine.
better, or otherwise.
That's right. That's right.
You can see her out walking around the streets.
And
Yeah, running.
I need 3 miles today, so let's
All right, all right. We're almost there. Okay, next Next is reappointment to the Ethics Board, and we are going to reappoint Joe Myers. Joe is not with us today. His term is a 3-year term and expires on 12/31/26. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Magistrate Ellis, motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Appointments are approved. Thank you very much. All right, County Attorney Chris Herron, you give us a joint jail update?
Yes, we had a joint jail meeting this past Friday, and one of the topics of discussion was the home incarceration, like the ankle bracelets that the joint jail had previously approved. We had chosen a company called Buddy BDI, and part of the reason we chose this company was, one, for the price, but secondly, we had thought that it was kind of promised to us that the jailer in Mercer County, since he doesn't actually have a jail, he just kind of transports mostly, that he would be able to install the units on everybody, being in Mercer and Boyle. He was there on Friday, and as an elected official, we can't necessarily tell him what he can do. We should have probably asked, first of all, before saying, hey, you're going to do this for a different county. But even so, with the contract, we've run into some issues. The contract talks about how Buddy will provide 24/7 monitoring, which technically they're doing, but really didn't go into, you're going to have a person on the ground here in Danville who is alerted, and that person's pretty much a 24/7 person as well that has to enforce all this, which kind of was going to be on the hands of the jailer, which is really not feasible whatsoever. In my mind, when this was sold to us, I kind of pictured that, you know, when someone is approved for home incarceration, that the jailer gets this unit, he attaches it to the person, he has like one of those scan things like at Walmart, scans something else, and it's good to go, and that's all he has to do. But it's so much more involved than that. It's typing in the parameters of how far they can go, and if they want to, you know, be able to go to work, or the doctor typing that all in. It's really a lot to do. So what the joint jail decided to do, we voted to get out of the contract. And there's a clause in the contract, termination clause, you can terminate without cause with 60 days notice. So that's what the joint jail decided to do. I think that we need to bring it before the fiscal court to gain your approval, but should you guys vote to allow us to terminate this contract because of it's just not going to be feasible, should you vote to do that, then what we'll do is we'll rebid the home incarceration units out.
I make a motion to resolve this by canceling in the 60 days notice that's within the contract, and that we move forward for bids.
Second.
Okay, motion by Magistrate Ellis, second by Magistrate Cullen. Any discussion?
I was there, and I'd like to make an overall comment about the fact that this is the first opportunity that Judge Judge Bottom was with Judge Steele, and it went remarkably well because this was a very difficult discussion that we were involved in. The liability that came up was just extraordinary. If that jailer, and it's set up by the judge, has given a range, just arbitrarily, a range of 5 miles for the inmate, and the inmate exceeds that, the jailer was going to be the one responsible to know that and act on it immediately, not the outfit that's out of state, which was just amazing. If that inmate were to commit a crime, have a crash, or anything that would happen, not only would the jailer in this contract be liable as an official, elected official, but we, the court, could be liable for anything untoward that would happen if a crime or an accident were to occur. And that discussion was a real eye-opener for all the more reason that we need an entity that will take that accountability and take that liability off of the jailer, whether it's ours or theirs, and the court.
And I want to make it clear, this is not a breach. It's not a breach we're terminating because it's just not the right system for us.
And not to mention the cost. Even though the buddy system was $2 and something, we would have to hire someone to input all this information, to track all this information, you know, take care of it. And by the time we paid the buddy system plus hired someone, it was going to be more than what the capital, what was it, capital something?
Yeah, that was one of the persons that did.
It was going to be
it's
at
like
least
$16, and 16 sounded a lot compared to like $2.95, but
yeah, but by the time we hire someone to do this, it was going to exceed the amount that
Probably actually
capital
need
is
to hire
charging. So
multiples if it's 24
right,
hours.
right, yeah. So
And we'll have to be very careful about the liability issue
Yes.
in this new bid.
Pastor Harmon?
As a former jailer, we took that deal first and found out later all the liabilities and things. And it was advised by our county attorney that we take that out of the jail and put it somewhere else. And he was right then, and he's right now. So that's just history repeating itself
Repeating
here
itself,
today. Yeah.
All right, any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Sorry.
So he'll be able to the motion was he can rebid that now? I think that was in Tom's.
send the termination notice, which actually got sent Friday. And, so,
with a stamp of approval now.
Right. Affirmation, and we can begin that process immediately.
I just want to clarify, Tom's motion did say that we can move forward with another bid though, right?
Yes, it did. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
We were there's a question of whether or not we had to bid this, is this a professional service or whatever, but speaking with Rich Ornstein from KCO, he said that, you know, unless this system was specifically tailored to us, that it would have to be bid out.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for acting on that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna head out to go get a tie on, and I'll be back. So I'll be back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, next is IT Director Bill Nichols with a quote for a copier. Tell us about your copier.
Well, we currently have been working off of a used copier that we got 4 or 5 years ago. Thank you to Sam Butler to get it up and running after we were down a week with it, but it's kind of on its last leg. And when you have HR and payroll, emergency management, the sheriff's department, and myself using a copier, I think it's just important that we look at getting a new one. I've checked with the treasurer, and we do have it covered in the budget. The one I have looked at is from DOE. It is normally I think full retail on it was 14 something, but they discounted it down to $5,824.98. I couldn't find anything to come even close to that price, so I would like to move forward and replace our old copier upstairs for what I call Suite 203 and replace it with this copier.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, sir.
Motion made by Magistrate Gay to approve the purchase of a new copier for second floor. Second by Magistrate Bodner. Any discussion on the copier?
Is this a new copier?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just to clarify, this does not need to be bid out. What's the threshold on?
I'm not sure. I've looked at other places, but I mean, I couldn't find anything that would.
I know there's sometimes where stuff under 6,000.
5,000 or more needs fiscal court approval.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
you
but-
have to have $30,000 as your bid.
Bid, okay, all right.
But it was one of those things where it was local, and even looking around and asking people for prices, I was getting $8,000 and $9,000 for a copier that would do the same type. So I just said, let's go with local.
I think you know how I feel about DOE, and it's a local great business that does fantastic things, and you know.
And they always give us an awesome deal.
Awesome deal, awesome service is even more.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
services.
So the service is fantastic.
Second to none.
Yes.
So not that I would want anything other than them, but
I understand.
I just want to
I
protect us.
try to follow all those as well, but I didn't find anybody that, I'm one of those that when I go out and looking for bids, I tend to share what I already have, and it really reduces competition a lot. I can't touch that, so.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to purchase a new copier, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. All right.
I thank you all, and I'll be back for the meeting.
Okay, all right. After the meeting, we will be taking a group photo. I just want to recognize some guests that we have with us today. Allie Huff with the Perros Main Street. Thank you for being here today. Is anything you want to share real quick with the court?
No, just,
okay.
Well, I say no, but yeah. I learned my lesson last time, kind of getting voluntold for the fair. But Kendall and I have talked, so we are going to move forward with that, and I'm going to be the point person for setting up our booth for the state fair.
Excellent.
We just finalized our dates for our events this year, so Turtle Derby and all of that, and we'll be posting those probably next week. We are 2/3 done with our first portion of restoration of Dr. Polk's office. That should be done within the next month, probably. So the entire exterior will be completed, and we'll be working on the interior, which the bid was about $100,000 to fix the interior, so we'll be working on that. And another big thing that we're doing right now is our archives project. We have realized that Main Street has not been good stewards of the very precious artifacts that are stored in our buildings, and so working with the Friends of Perros Battlefield, which have become partners of ours, and the inmate program, we are moving all of our artifacts which have not been stored properly to a location to be stored properly, organized, cataloged, so we know what we have. Good. And then we can, hopefully you all will come down if you've not yet seen our new museum, which will be redone again this year. We redid it last year, but it will be redone again, and to utilize all of those wonderful things that we have in Perros.
Thank you. So,
Ellie,
yes, thank you.
It probably is 20 years ago at an auction in Paris, the surgeon's kit that was used at the battlefield was purchased by Perryville. Do you know the status
We
of
have
that?
Dr. Polk's doctor's kit, and we also have just been offered his chair.
Wonderful.
So we are going to acquire his actual chair that was in his doctor's office.
Excellent.
So we'll be able to utilize that in our spaces.
All right.
And have you been inspired by the talk of music throughout here to
We have a music, we're calling it a summer family series.
Great.
So it could be music, it could be a movie, just sort of kind of April through October. It'll be once a month.
Farm to table.
I have talked about a farm to table replacing the taste of 1862 at our commemoration. We are agricultural community, and why not utilize that? One thing that also is going to go into place this year is a food truck park. One thing we're desperately needing in Perros is somewhere to eat. We've just done a community survey. That's one thing on it, obviously, and so we're going to recreate a spot downtown for a food truck park to allow people to sign up, and we will have food on weekends with tables and lights and umbrellas and things like that. And then we're going to have a community survey or a community input meeting next week on the 30th at 6 o'clock at City Hall. We're going to go over the survey results, but also we just want to hear what our community wants to make sure that what our board, our goals are aligning with what our community wants for our downtown. So if you are available, we would love to see you there.
And that's when?
The 30th at 6 o'clock at City Hall in Perros.
Last but not least, I still want a library down there.
Well, I've been talking to someone who purchased a building in town and advised them to reach out to a few people to state that it was a desperate need that we need in town.
Yeah.
Because I think our initial talks about one of our buildings on Merchants Row, I think would be nice, but I think a large open space would benefit our community better. But
I think I know you're talking about. So
we can have more.
I'll have a conversation with him.
Work with Allie, bringing inmates down to work, and she's accomplished a lot.
Yeah, she's a worker.
A lot of things.
She's a go-getter.
The public will never know it.
We're proud to have her.
Well, I guess we can talk about this close to budget time.
Okay. We also have the chair of our Human Rights Commission, and forgive me, Patricia, is that right, Beasley?
Lofton Beasley.
Lofton Beasley, okay. And so she's here as the chair of our Human Rights Commission. We appreciate
Thank
you
you for
being here in
coming.
support of Miss Ruby and Stacy. Thank you very much. All right, magistrate reports, Magistrate Ellis.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, beginning late summer, and these things do take time, there were folks in from out of state looking at, I believe it ended up being 4, perhaps 5 sites for a cell tower. If you've ever looked at the history out in western Boyle County, even though we got one on White's Ridge about 3 years ago, it's not serving everybody. We are very close now to a contract with an entity that will be coming in. Obviously, we understand that the first part of that process, if a contract and when a contract, I'm very optimistic it will be signed, takes place, they'll come to planning and zoning and go through that process. There'll be signs posted in and around the community. And once planning and zoning acts on it, and I'm optimistic they will be acting favorably, then they'll come to fiscal court for our final approval. But it's a need. We have something like 425 families in and around Perryville. Many of them are always calling. Even City Hall gave up their system and went to another one, just desperately trying to get better service. And so just stay tuned. That's on the horizon. I mentioned, as before we even went into our meeting today, that not only is solar on the table for us after our moratorium will run out, but I received, perhaps because of the size of my area and the open ground that's there with all the farming, I received from out of state an entity that is trying to persuade us that wind power is also part of our future. On the one hand, they're talking about one small community in Indiana raising as much as $60 million a year, helping with everything from EMS and all responders to libraries and whatever the needs might be. On the other hand, there are some trappings that come with wind power. I'm quite pleased that Julie found for us in our moratorium that our language includes power. So we can interpret that as it is, or maybe if we looked at it again, we might want to spice it up to include wind, because it is something of the future. But I think that, I guess it's a personal bias, that we ought to move very cautiously and do our research on that before we do anything more. I hope you're getting the calls I'm getting, because I'm getting at least one a week on when's broadband coming. So we've got to stay on top of that and work with our vendor that we've approved from previous court. And finally, I'm very pleased to know that Senator McConnell and his top aide in this district will be here on the 3rd for a private meeting with the judge, myself, Julie, and maybe one, and along with Representative Elliott and Senator Amanda Bledsoe. There are now $27+ million available. We don't know yet what the parameters will be on their use, but between now and the 3rd, Julie and I will be exploring a little bit to find out just exactly what projects can and cannot be approved if we are one of the fortunate communities to get a piece of that $27 million. Obviously, with our jailer just in the room, I'd love to have all of it so that we could move forward on a new jail. But we will be working with Judge Bodner very closely with the senator when he's here to be very persuasive and bring more back to you in a future meeting. And Judge, that's it.
Thank you. Magistrate Bodner.
District 2, we had a fire hydrant across from the Parksville Dollar Store that had a car accident, took it out. And so the Parksville worked with the city of Danville Water, and they gave them a replacement until the one they've ordered is coming in, and once it comes in, they'll replace that.
That's right. Thank you. Magistrate Harmon.
Spoke with a couple of people since our last meeting, and citizens in my district, and one of them's the issue of too much water in their backyard coming from the drain system. But the city of Danville is to work on that, but she's not had any contact yet. So hopefully they will get to her on it. I'll follow up on that, make sure. And also, my partner over here, he pulled in, another lady was having an issue, and being it was his department with EMS, he took care of it.
Thanks to EMS, they're on it, and our partners over with our billing collections department is helping out, so we're getting to the bottom of it.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cullen?
All right, so I got, I don't know when we're gonna work these in, but I do have some, some reports I have to read that have not been read in a little bit. So it's gonna sound old, because they are, but they need to get done. All right, so we'll start EMS. This was from November 9th. We talked about outreach coordinator and future funding, which this court has gratefully taken care of. At that point, EC7 was in for service. And then we also talked about applying for a KCO grant for Samsara Safe Driving Software, which I don't know if any of y'all know what that is, but it's basically a big brother system in all the vehicles. But you know, if they're braking too hard, all of that gets reported back through this system, back to Mike and back to Tim, so they can provide education updates or whatever. If somebody's getting too close, drive too close. So it's a great system. At that point, for the previous month, they had 585 runs, and so I'll go ahead and submit that report.
Thank you.
I'll do all these together. And then I'll do the next EMS committee was on December 5th. At that point, we talked about permission to bid 2 chase vehicles, and we had discussed that maybe 1 was the right thing to do, which we went ahead and approved today, instead of getting 2. And runs for November were down just slightly. That was 578. So, and then I'll submit that one for approval as well. Then we had a sheriff's committee meeting on 11/22. And they reported at that point that the SRO cars are here and they're just waiting for equipment. Cars will be wrapped in school colors, which again, I'm very grateful that we supported that program. And I think that's something that we have to do. And we might have another opportunity to add another school here, so but we'll talk about that. And for those that didn't remember, there was also a lockdown because of an incident in Junction, and they did that more out of caution. And then we also talked about one of the issues was that we did learn from that lockdown is how do we get a message out to all the families, because you're going to have a flood of calls into the school or whatever. So at that point, Sheriff Robbins and I were kind of figure out, how we have some sort of communication. You can't just rely on Facebook or something like that. It has to be something that everybody has access to. So I'll go ahead and submit that for approval as well.
Does the school not have a text notification system?
I'll have to ask. Yeah, I'm not sure. There was a lot of people just calling everybody, and that's the great thing about a small community is, everyone has the teachers' phone numbers and stuff like that, but there's only so many calls that come through at once. So,
Did you ask if Boyle had a system? Yes, they sent one out to everyone. It's very brief.
Yeah.
But they did state that the schools were under a lockdown.
A text?
Yes, they went to like a text to all parents.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we just approve those collectively?
Do them all.
Okay, all right. Motion to approve Jason's report, or Master Cullen's report.
Motion.
Minister Gay made the motion to approve. Second. Minister Harmon made the second. Any discussion? All those in
I don't know
favor?
how we handle this, but of course, one of the magistrates that was on the committees with me is no longer, so I'm going to sign this and then hand them off, and y'all can figure it out.
Okay, all right. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, thank you.
All right.
Master Cullen.
All right, and so a couple things going on in the community. There is a obedience class put on by the Danville Boyle County Humane Society that's going to be on the 4th. I believe it's over at Stuart Powell. They do this often, which is great. So if you have little Fido that needs some help, let's go ahead and get him over there. Unfortunately, one of my dogs would fail class miserably. But anyway, and then this is what I love being on this court, because I get to go hang out often over in Magistrate Bodner's area. Junction City has their pancake breakfast on the 4th.
Yep.
So I will be there for that. So come support our fire department, the Junction City Fire Department down there, which I love going to because I'm very active with the Boyle County Fire Department, and it's just, you know, they all interact and they all cover, and yeah, it's just fantastic to see them get together. But anyway, so those are the events that I can think about right now.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you for your report. Magistrate Gay?
Don't really have a report other than just to say thank you to everybody that attended the Martin Luther King Day event. I thought it was a well attended event, and I thought it came off very well. So look forward to that happening again next year, and just to plant a seed with everybody. I would like to put a request in the budget appropriations process this year for some funding for that event.
Magistrate Gay serves on the committee for the Martin Luther King event, and it was well organized. It was so good to see the city and the county coming together and walking down the street together, and it was just the committee did a fantastic job in getting all that together. So thank you very much.
Good committee, good working committee.
And there was no rain.
And no rain, that's right.
No rain or snow,
yeah,
right.
It wasn't freezing cold either, so that was good.
Yeah.
Magistrate Sleeper?
Yeah, I just wanted to publicly wanted to commend Magistrate Gay and his team on the MLK marching program. It was really excellent. And whoever took my picture and put it on the front page right up close.
That was awesome. You represented well.
Yeah, so just a couple things we've been working on. Magistrate Gay and I are on the Animal Control Committee together, and we met with the Board of Directors at the Humane Society and had a good informational meeting with them. Appreciated what they had to share with us, and also we had a meeting with Carrie Koo, the director of the animal shelter, this past week, and we talked about animal control issues and information, and also about starting to look at the animal control ordinances and reviewing those, and also reviewing a policy and procedure manual for animal control. So,
do you want to speak about the position we had available, but now it's...
the animal control officer that had resigned has returned.
Yeah.
So we're thankful for that. Elias coming back.
Yeah, Elias came back.
Yeah, so
that was good
we're excited and thankful for that. So.
Literally, I believe he handled 5 calls on Christmas Day. He's an extraordinary employee of the county. That's good news.
And like I said, there's some things we need to work on, helping them, and maybe even looking at hiring some cleaners for the center, because they're
that's what they've had that in the past, and
they have.
It was downsized
during COVID.
During COVID,
yeah, during
but
COVID.
we need to kind of reevaluate.
I agree. So that's something that we can bring up in the future and see if we can help them out in that way, because you know, when you can imagine being on call all 24/7 and then having to clean on top of that, you know, it's a hard job. It really is, because you never know how many calls you're going to have. You never know how long the call is going to take, and then, you know, the kennels have to be cleaned too. So there you go. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, anybody else have anything else they would like to bring up? Just remember to hang around. We're going to take our group photo for the court. So, all right, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Magistrate Ellis, motion to adjourn. Second.
Second.
Second, Magistrate Cullen. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?